You ever stop and think about the food rules we follow? Well, it turns out a lot of them are kind of nuts. Once you start asking why we do things, you find some really strange answers.
All right, first up, you walk into a movie theater, and what's the first thing you notice? That overwhelming smell of popcorn, right? That's no accident. Not at all. And what about this? Think about it. In the US, milk comes in gallons, this old, clunky measurement. But right next to it on the shelf, soda is sold in these sleek metric liters. So, why the split personality?
And then there's this old argument, jam versus jelly. I mean, people get really serious about it. But what are we even fighting about? Aren't they basically the same thing, just fruit in a jar?
And how about this one? Why is it that almost anywhere on Earth a birthday means one thing? A cake with a bunch of tiny fires on it.
The reasons for all this stuff, they're hidden right in front of us. And I gotta tell you, once you see the logic, you can't unsee it.
So, back to the movies. You probably think popcorn is the go-to snack because, it tastes good. Nope, not the main reason. The real reasons are way more clever.
Okay, it really boils down to three brilliant, calculated reasons. First, the smell. You know it. They pump that scent through the lobby on purpose to make you hungry. Second, the profit. Those kernels cost next to nothing, but the markup is, well, it's insane. But here's the genius part that most people miss, the sound. Or the lack of it. Think about it. No loud crunching, no crinkly bag. It's designed not to ruin the movie.
So you see, popcorn was never just a snack. It was literally engineered to be the perfect movie-watching tool. Smell to lure you in, profit to cash in, and silence so you can actually hear the movie. Pretty smart, huh?
Okay, let's solve that weird measurement mystery. Milk and soda, they're both liquids, but they live in two totally different worlds. This wasn't some mistake. It's basically a battle between old-school farms and new-school marketing.
So here's the deal. Milk, that's sold in gallons because of old farming traditions that, well, they just never went away. No one ever bothered to change it. But soda, that's all about marketing. When soda companies went global, they picked liters to sound modern and international. And here's the little mind trick. A 2-liter just sounds more manageable, right? It feels smaller than a half-gallon, even though they're basically the same amount. It's a clever psychological nudge.
All right, let's finally put the jam versus jelly debate to bed, for good. Because this isn't about what you prefer. This is about the law.
Yeah, you heard that right. These aren't just names your grandma used. They are actual legal definitions. Jelly has to be made from only the fruit juice. That's why it's smooth and you can see through it. Jam, on the other hand, uses the actual crushed fruit, so it's thicker. And preserves, they've got whole chunks of fruit in there. So that whole argument you've been having, it's literally about fruit solids. Who knew?
Okay, let's move on to something that feels a little closer to home. The birthday cake. I mean, it seems like such a simple modern thing, right? But the story behind it? Wow. It goes back thousands of years. We're talking ancient gods.
So it all started with the ancient Greeks. They baked round honey cakes as an offering to Artemis, the goddess of the moon. And the candles? That was meant to look like the moon glowing. The idea was that the smoke from blowing them out would carry their prayers and wishes right up to the gods. Fast forward a few thousand years, and sugar becomes this super expensive, rare thing. So having a sweet cake was a huge status symbol for the rich, their way of showing off that they'd made it another year. Now, over time, all the religious stuff kind of faded away. But the core ritual, the celebration, the fire, the shared treat, that stuck around.
So, yeah, the next time you're in a birthday party, just remember, it's not just a cake. It's this ancient ritual of survival and celebration, all rolled into one.
But this hidden logic, it's not just in these few things. It's everywhere. Once you start paying attention, you realize there are these invisible rules guiding almost every meal. Here, let's do a quick lightning round. Ever wonder why dessert is almost always eaten with a spoon? Our brains are wired to connect sweet with smooth. Or why breakfast is so often sweet. It's a quick shot of energy that basically trains your brain to feel happy about waking up. And how about spicy food in hot climates? It's not just for flavor. Spices actually helped kill bacteria back when food spoiled really fast, before fridges. The crazy part is, nobody planned any of this. These habits just evolved.
So after all that, the popcorn, the milk, the birthday cake, what could possibly be the weirdest food rule of them all?
It's the one you follow every single day. You do it at every meal, and you probably don't even realize you're doing it. And trust me, once you see it, you'll never look at your plate the same way again.
Subscribe for more true, surprising stories hidden behind everyday life.